where culture meets context. The real is long, does it rise and go, where culture meets context. The real is long, does it rise and go, where culture meets.
What's good? 1, 2, 1, 2. Where we go? Hey, hey. No, I started to play. It's all about hip hop tonight. I had to jump it off hip hop like, but welcome to the Realest Lounge. We're diving into a deep conversation tonight. Listen, this debate, and I ain't even gonna say it's debate, but this discussion that we got going on, like it's so near and dear to my heart. If you know me, you know that I love hip hop. Studied hip hop. Hip hop is literally like my second language, and it's always been a conversation about whether or not hip hop is just become just really just toxic right now. I've even heard discussions, which is why I got my one of my favorite people on here, Melody, on here, who said that hip hop needs to be boycotted. So I was just like, with everything that's going on, the divisiveness, the boycott that's taking place, and we're seeing that a culture that we have been a part of our entire lives is literally being poisoned little by little. It's been so much that's been going on, so many talks, especially with the death of Clive Davis that just recently happened. A couple of days ago, we lost a mega super producer in the hip hop game by the name of Tay Keith, who passed away untimely. Rest in peace to that young man as well. But we're gonna go ahead and dive into this because somewhere along the way, many believe that the culture changed, right? And we just want to ask the questions: was it simply evolution? Was it corporate influence? Was it consumer demand, or was it something a little bit deeper at play? So tonight we'll examine the rise of hip hop from a cultural movement to a global industry worth billions of dollars. We'll explore the impact of music on behavior, the role of media and corporations, the hip hop police, the death of influential artists, the Lord C. Tucker's warning signs, the Satanic Panic, and the claims surrounding the alleged secret meeting that many believe changed the trajectory of a genre. And tonight I got DJ Knock with me as well as Melody. Most definitely we got Fu, we got Mark as well. DJ Knock, say what's up to the people. Give them your credentials because you've been doing DJing for quite some time up there. Tell the people about it.
I'm pushing up this November. I'll be pushing up on 30 years. 30
I love
years
that.
as a pro DJ. I started messing around as a DJ when I was 12. I come from a musically inclined family. I'm formerly a DJ for Whammo in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I've traveled up and down to Florence, South Carolina. I've been, up to Swissvale, where I resided when I was up there in Pittsburgh on radio at Whammo. That's 107.3. Iconic, legendary station up there in the area. But and back to DC. So I've been doing it a long time. I'm a member of two of the largest DJ coalitions. Fleet DJs is one, and the second one is Nerve DJs. So I've always been in the DJ circle, music conventions, things of that nature, meeting different artists, all of that good stuff. But you wouldn't know it because I kind of keep it to myself. I've been doing it so long. I'm just like, and I'm disgusted with what I'm seeing today.
Me too. Me too. So you was just the perfect person for me to tap on the shoulder to get on here. Definitely.
Look.
Melody, what's going on? You there?
Yes, I'm here.
What's happening, Miss Melody, Miss New Yorker?
What's up, girl?
Go ahead, tell them, introduce yourself to the peoples and tell them your thoughts about hip hop because you've been loud about it for the last couple of days.
About it. I've been trying to boycott hip hop since not hip hop but rap. Because when hip hop came out, I grew up in it from the Bronx, New York. And everything we rapped about was partying, sticking together, going to school, stuff like that. I grew up with Brand Nubians and Eric, Rakim, Eric B. I mean, we didn't rap about taking down each other. So when we started hearing that, it was a lady named Dolores Tucker Cynthia Dolores Tucker. She was out there fighting hard to stop the new hip hop that was coming, because they started calling women beads and whores, and I mean, it was just too much.
Yeah.
So she fought Snoop Dogg, she fought Biggie Small, and she fought Tupac. Those were the three biggest at the time. So I never liked them. You know what I'm saying? I never felt for them three. Yeah. To this day, and anybody that came after, because everything is about taking each other down. That's all it came after the 90s. Yeah. So I've been trying to really boycott that ever since. And ever since it came out, look at our children. The little ones really think this is their culture, and that's not Black culture.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
What's up, Mark? What's up?
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing today?
We good. Welcome, man. How you feel about hip hop right now, bro?
Man, I don't even listen to hip hop anymore, bro.
Really?
Sorry. I mean, I used to love it like you did. I was a rapper. I mean, the whole nine. I lived and breathed it. Yeah. I mean, I had an opportunity at a record deal when I was like 18. Like, I used to really embody the culture, man. Like, I lived it, breathed it, and it's just at this point in time, there's other genres of music that I find more entertaining, thought-provoking, things that tap into how I feel spiritually. Like, I feel like when you listen to music, it should be a value exchange, right? If you're giving these people your streams, or back in the day when I was growing up, you had to go to the store and buy the CD or buy the tape or the album or the vinyl or whatever. So you wanted to get fair exchange. It's supposed to be value. If I'm giving you my money, I expect to get quality. And nowadays, that's not what you're getting when you listen to either R&B or especially hip hop. I couldn't tell you who the top 5 rappers are right now. And I'm like, if you just listen to the mindset or listen to people talk who listen to today's hip hop, that right there that should tell you, like, these people are idiots. So why would I want to associate myself with stupidity?
Valid. Well, I can't really argue with that. Fool, the shirt, sir. Let me see the shirt. Oh. Let me see that damn shirt.
That's it.
I love it. Fool, so what? I know you like. I don't know if you listen to today's music, but like, what do you? So what's in your playlist? Like, what 90s hip hop.
90s hip hop.
That's so. How do you feel? How do you feel about like the current state of hip hop right now?
Hip hop has been infiltrated, and once it originally got infiltrated, you saw the demise. It's just like with anything else. Once and I'm gonna say they, because it's always a they behind it, the product diminishes. NFL, NBA, TV, whatever it is, once they start doing it the way they want to do it, then it turns into something else. That's my issue. I don't know nobody. I'm gonna say this shit so y'all can. I hope I don't offend anybody I play golf with. I play golf with a lot of my peoples. Y'all know that they got the little mic. They got the Bluetooth microphones out there listening to music. Do y'all know how hard it is to play golf when they playing that hot garbage? You have like, for me personally, when I play, when I finally get my Bluetooth speaker, I'm going to listen to motherfucking Luther, Stevie Wonder, Teddy P, and Marvin Gaye, because the frequency is right. That shit, listening to that, and if I'm out there playing golf, it's just you in a different place. Or listen to some really old school shit. But to be lit, I'd be like, what the and all that shit sounds the same. Yeah. Everything sounds exactly the same.
Oh shit. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is this my brother? Is this
Somebody mentioned my name.
Oh, wow. I know him.
What's happening?
Yo,
What's going on, Bully?
Oh man, Dave Anderson, the AKA the business bully in the building. What's up, man?
Listen, I'm chilling. How's everything?
Oh man, everything is wonderful. Hey, you like came in right at the right time, man. First of all, introduce yourself to the people. I'm quite sure they already know, but we want to hear you say.
Don't nobody know me, man. I'm a mediocre goat herder. I do nothing. The goats take care of themselves for the most part. I listen. I'm supposed to be a poor man. 22-time best-selling author, retired media personality, former record deal haver. You know, stuff and things and stuff. But I'm here.
Yeah, I watch your show all the time.
I'm so sorry. I'll do better next time.
So the question is like, how do you feel about the current state of hip hop right now? You being in the industry and being behind the scenes, what's your thoughts on it?
I think it's trash, but it's designed to be trash. Here's what I try to explain this to, conservatives, liberals, Negroes, sellouts, and coons all at the same time. You can sit up here and call the situation the culture if you want to, but it's not a culture if it's a culture of ignorance, and the people perpetuating the culture and profiting from said culture, you can't pick out of a lineup, and they're palm colored. I don't want to hear nothing about record companies because there's no such thing as a black record company and hasn't been since I was in college. So at the almost ripe old age of 50, I can tell you without a doubt that everybody who profits, plans, and proceeds to put this mess out here does not look like the people that you have to blame. Clive Davis just died, and I don't celebrate anybody's death, but if you knew what I knew, you would understand. And I could give you a myriad of historically accurate statements, but I'll just give you two. While Whitney Houston lay drowning very suspiciously in a bathtub, Clive Davis still had his Grammy party. Everybody blamed two kids from Europe who happen to share our skin, and I'm not on no Pan-African Dr. Umar stuff. I'm foundational, but I do call balls and strikes because in those days, black was black, because that was the message. But Rob and Fab were left out like lambs to the slaughter when the person who orchestrated that was the same reptilian lawyer who was responsible for replacing Phyllis Hyman with Whitney Houston and a myriad of other things. If you go and you watch the documentary on Milli Vanilli, you will see how intimately he was involved in that. And everybody, one more just for fun, everybody talks about freak-offs, but nobody talks about the fact that every 30 years, Clive Davis replaced his black protege with yet another black protege. And when Andre Harrell got replaced with Diddy, nobody could find Diddy for a weekend. What do you think he was doing? Who do you think he was doing? And why is it nobody all of a sudden who was in his inner circle knew where he was for 3 whole days? Oh, y'all believe the story that he was sitting there listening to Brian McKnight records, and magically he just walked away with that amount of money with a cashier's check for millions to start Bad Boy under Arista? You don't find it odd that Usher had issues with Mario when Mario came out because Clive signed Mario in answer to Usher no longer doing what Usher wanted to do, allegedly, supposedly for entertainment purposes only. Don't listen to me. I'm a Negro with a Black Panther bathroom.
So it's gonna be a hell of a show tonight.
Yeah. So when you ask me about the music industry, you got to be kidding me. Because it's a cottage industry to keep your mind as jacked up as it is. And people want to talk about, the people have a choice. And you don't have a choice. There's no such thing as a choice. And most people don't even realize they have a choice. And all Americans, respectfully, with very little exception, are stupid. If I'm wrong, explain why the Wall Street Journal is written on a 5th grade level. If everybody's so damn smart and discerning, where's all that discernment when they're putting horsehair in their head? Where's all that discernment when they're running around getting Mumble and Ben Crump to come and clean up the mess that they made when they don't know how to be parents? If everybody's so damn smart, how is it for 62 years black people have been voting one particular way and our communities look like trash? So don't tell me about choices when the people that you're dealing with have been dumbed down by a system that has gone out of its way to make money off of us being ignorant. But okay,
you're right.
Hey Dave,
right,
I'm only going to disagree with one thing that you said.
Sure.
We ain't 50.
You're right. So I'll be 49 in November. I just rounded up.
So what
Shit's already starting crazy right now. It's already exploding.
You always bringing that fire.
It's always exploding. It's always exploding. Goodness gosh, I wasn't expecting.
Hold on. I can't be the oldest up here.
Huh?
Nah, you're not.
The oldest up here. Okay.
You're not.
All right.
Well, wait a minute.
My goodness.
Wait a minute. I don't know. The people in the corner, who knows?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Mel, is it appropriate to ask how old you are, sweetie?
Huh?
Is it appropriate that I ask you how old you are?
Me, I'll be 60 in December.
60?
Good. I'm not.
Girl, you know what they say? Black don't crack unless you smoke it.
Yeah, that's it.
I stayed out the nightlife. I had a mother, a father, and a big brother.
Hey.
Well, I'm a proud 43.
Oh, girl, please. I got shoes older than you. She talking.
Hey,
about.
Dave.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I want my record, man. I want my album, man.
You didn't get your album?
My album.
You
I ain't get it.
Well, I mean, that's a conversation.
Look, I'm trying to laugh. I'm trying to bump some of it, man. Come on, man.
No, you didn't. Wait, you didn't even get the digital copy?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
All right,
I know
cool.
you said you was busy and everything, but yeah.
Yeah, listen.
Whenever you got time, bro.
I never have time, but I will make time.
Oh my goodness.
I will make time. Y'all need to get that chill music.
Well, thank y'all so much for joining. Listen, family, welcome everybody. Make sure you all drop your city in the chat, hit that like button, share the stream, and you know, we just asking questions like, did hip hop build us or did they break us? Like, because when you look at hip hop history today compared to its oranges, do you really believe that this culture evolved? It didn't. It didn't. And as it devolved. And why do you feel that way, Mark?
I think Dave just spoke about it. It's by design and it's for profit. I'm gonna look at it from a biblical perspective. If you believe in, you know, your Bible and end times and things like that, we seem to be charting rapidly towards that direction right now. So seeing what you're seeing and the music is being part of it, I mean, it's not really hard to figure out. Back in the day, at least they were subtle, they disguised it. But as we've continued to get more and more progressive, the music has gotten progressively worse and more raunchy, more out there, less about substance, less about hiding or being subtle or using innuendos. It's just direct in your face. A lot of the music is repetitive as far as the production is concerned. Like they just took a formula, 2 + 2 = 4, and they put it out there and they figured that was going to sell. And again, if you look at it from a biblical perspective, Satan's ministry was music. It's not crazy to see that music is really just a cesspool of degenerates.
Yeah. I agree. I have a whole mix, but I ain't gonna hold you. I only been listening to Kanye West album.
Yeah, but remember I told you, Nisi, that they didn't hire them to entertain. They hired them to train. Because a lot of them, if you listen to them, is trash. Everything is just being demonic and nasty, especially the females.
Yeah, the females kind of have taken a turn for the worse, unfortunately. This coming from somebody, like I said, hip hop is my second language. I've been rapping since I was 8 years old. I've dropped several albums. I've had music on the radio. I've had been signed, all kinds of stuff. So seeing where the ladies are right now, it definitely, I don't know. I don't know what our plight is anymore.
Yeah, it's like you can't sign up unless you degenerate. You understand? Unless you're disgusting, disrespectful.
Yeah, because it was a balance. Like somewhere down the line, it was a balance. Like that's my thing. I'm a Libra here, so I'm all about balance.
Yeah.
And I remember coming up, you know, my ears, there were certain things that I couldn't listen to. But of course, I knew coming up, I knew who Salt and Pepper was. I knew who Queen Latifah was. I knew who Miss Melody was and Moni Love and all of that. And then I remember that there was just, then came in like this and that. If you know who this and that is,
if you don't want to party, then you should go home. We got this and that in 69. They got it.
Yeah. See, this and that, they came in with Luke. They came in with Luke. Then you had, if you wanted to get sexy, then they brought in Lil' Kim. See, Lil' Kim came in, and it was just kind of like, okay, damn, she's talking about getting her coochie ace, selling
and all
coochie,
that. Disgusting, yeah,
and all kinds of shit. And I wasn't ready, but she had bars though. So it was just kind of really like different for me. And then they had to have Foxy Brown. Then Foxy came. But even with Lil' Kim, we had Left Eye. We still had Light. Light was still dropping music. Queen Latifah was still dropping music. You know
Lady
what I'm saying?
Rage.
So we
Lady
of Rage. So we still had that balance. Like, why do you all think that like it shifted to women only being like overly sexual? Like, it's a long way from those artists. It's a long way even from Missy Elliott. Even if you want to think of women who may not have had the body shape that the industry usually pushes. So why do you all think as a woman, and I'm gonna go to you, Miss Melody, why do you think as a woman they have only structured the artist to now be so overtly sexy and sexual in nature?
Like Unplugged said earlier, the frequency, demonic music possesses them. See, people look at this music like it don't possess our children. It does. And if you look at the videos, everything is about the devil. You see them doing like the shows on stage. Yes. All that is representing the devil.
Yeah.
And then you got kids, young people that just don't want to do right. They want to live an unlawful, ungodly life. So then they start to enjoy it. But then they don't realize they putting it in their children's heads. You know, the little ones are listening to it. I had little kids singing, "You could eat me out." They didn't even know what they was talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just what it is. You know, they get paid to train our kids to be tramps.
Yeah. I agree. There's definitely been a destiny swap somewhere. Somewhere down the line, there was a destiny swap. Yes, sir.
I forgot. If I want to send you a video, how do I send it to you so you can play it on the screen?
Send it to me on TikTok. And
I'm about to send you a video right now. Y'all may have seen this. If it come up, when y'all see this shit, I saw it a couple days ago. Wait till y'all see this video she played.
Okay. I'll definitely let me get to these comments right here, and shout out to everybody that fell through from Facebook, YouTube, IG. We definitely appreciate you, X. Right on, Dave, for connecting us with X. Like, I don't even go live on there that much, but I appreciate you for, definitely showing the show over there. So we got Cellulite Podcast. What's going on to R Boone 57? We got James Franco 6988. We got Tariq Cook, Tammy Burnett, DBS Move, Tammy Burnett. Well, let me see. We got Black American Television News 7842. We appreciate you all for stopping through. What's going on, Lynn? One Lord, one Son. We appreciate you all for stopping through. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and tap into this because, first off, we always do something called Fresh Off the Presses, where I allow my co-hosts to kind of talk about something that they may have seen in the news recently that may have kind of made them be like, oh, hell no, I might need to share this with the crew. So I really want to go ahead and go to Fu first. And then I'm gonna go to Mark. So, Fu, what did you see in the news this week that kind of tripped you out a little bit?
Okay, everybody, all the ignorant motherfuckers, everything was about Juneteenth, and then you layer that with that Death Star looking toilet in Chicago, that Obama building or whatever, and all they doing is talking about that on Juneteenth. All you saw was the press about that. What they didn't talk about was the shootout that night, and they left 113 bullets out there. 113 bullets. So my issue is, y'all praise him. Y'all praise this library that nobody in the community wanted. They fought against. That foundation is supposed to I think they're supposed to contribute 400 and like half of the amount, 400 and something million. They've contributed $1 million. $1 million. It was supposed to be 300 and something million in the beginning. It ballooned up to 800 million. Where that money go? And once again, all the press was all the celebrities that was there. Was such a beautiful event, and 113 bullets was sprayed that night with zero mainstream media coverage. None. That's deplorable. And that couple ain't never did shit for Chicago. Nothing.
I'm curious to know when he gonna pay the people that built it.
No, hold up. I want you to layer something on that. I bet not ever hear one statement about Donald Trump in the past not paying his contractors.
They can't say nothing.
I bet not ever hear that again.
They can't say anything. Fool, you're fine. You're a fine foundation of Black American. They can't say anything. I warned you people. I told you he wasn't from here. And we'll make that so not to cut the order.
No, go ahead.
Real quick, I hate to see this tether on tether crime. I hate to see tethers scamming other tethers. That's why I got a song called Tether Mouth. Because y'all should have known. Y'all should have known. Why would you trust a tether doing tethery things? And then, I'm not trying to be funny, but you ever see Beverly Hills Cop 2? You remember when Eddie Murphy went and took that house?
Yes.
Because some people went on vacation like, hey, these are the wrong plans. Man, this is a house with no right angles. Look at all these right angles. Have y'all seen that mess?
Yes.
That building, you know what that museum looked like to me?
A bowel movement.
Have you all ever, I know everybody on here has seen Devil's Advocate before, right?
Of course.
It reminds me of that picture that was behind Al Pacino. That eventually turned into demons at the end. It looks so much like it because it looks like a prison. It doesn't even look like it looks like a prison. It's very what's the word I'm looking for? Ostentatious. To say the least. It's very ostentatious, but I found it quite odd that I haven't really heard a lot of people talking about the fact that he did not pay the people who actually built it yet, and that some of these companies actually have gone bankrupt and have lost out on a lot of money. I'm talking about millions upon millions of dollars that were not paid out to the contractors. And a lot of these contractors were Black-owned companies as well.
Go and watch when you get a chance. If you watch any of the old Star Wars movies, and I mean any of the Star Wars movies, that building looks like all of the Empire's weapons. All of it looked just like it.
They absolutely did.
Well, thank you for sharing that story with us. Mark, what about you?
I just want to know what was the purpose of building that building.
So I think not this Sunday, but the Sunday before last, it was a UFC event on the White House lawn, and it went off, pretty much without a hitch. To me, it was a great representation of America being back. Y'all have to pardon me. I actually love our country, so if I seem overly patriotic, my apologies. But seeing that really galvanized the country, I thought. And then there was one particular moment that caused a lot of controversy, and that was when fighter Josh Hockett made an inappropriate statement about former First Lady Michelle Obama when he said that she was a MAN. My thing isn't necessarily about what he said. You can feel how you want to feel about it, but it was more so the left's reaction to how everyone was basically being nonchalant about it. These people were trying to make this a big deal. They were trying to drum up trouble anywhere that they could, but it kind of falls flat when you guys are platforming and voting for people like Graham Plattner out in Maine. Now, if you don't know who Graham Plattner is, I suggest you hit the Google button and take a look at what your Democrat Party is, supporting right now. And so when you have people trying to support Graham Plattner, also trying to tell you that what was said about Michelle Obama was wrong and offensive and we should somehow be torn up or broken up about it, it kind of falls on deaf ears.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like that whole little I know it's all about freedom of speech, but I just kind of felt like that was in poor taste. My opinion.
Me too.
I just felt like it was in poor taste. Like, I think that people kind of get carried away when it comes to freedom of speech because they be thinking that freedom of speech means you could just say whatever the hell you want to say and that there's not going to be any consequences. People really need to start taking, I think like nowadays they need to take a book out of Chud the Builder's book because there's going to be consequences to the things that you say. And nowadays people are just starting to get diarrhea at the mouth when it comes to a lot of things that they think is okay to say in America. It's not like y'all, like you didn't have to do that. You took away from what you accomplished in that moment by throwing shots and making a political statement to something that we honestly we don't know if it's truth. We may poke a little bit at it, we may joke about it a little bit, but we don't know if that's truth. And it was just really disrespectful in my opinion. And this is coming from somebody I don't care for these people at all. But I stand on what's right, and I don't think that was right at all for y'all to even for him to even say that. And I think it should definitely be some repercussions that come with it.
What's frustrating for me with the way that it happened? He gave them fodder to talk about the event. Like they still was gonna talk about it. We know that, but that was the racial component that they could run with. Now it's like. It's that perpetual hamster wheel. It always has to be something. He don't say that shit. Now they swole because of the process. But once again, it is what it is. People make mistakes, and it's nothing. We can't take it back. You can't get rid of it. This, that, whatever. I agree. It was most definitely in poor taste. But America, that the America that we want is on its way back. And that event was masculinity. That's the whole thing. For me, that was important for me. That part was the masculinity part of it. That's why they fighting so hard against this shit. They don't want that. They want that other side. They want booty. They want booty juice energy. If you know,
it's masculinity.
Give people booty juice.
It's masculinity, but it's not masculine to throw shots at a grown ass woman.
No,
not
him. Forget it. I'm talking about the event. The event was about masculinity.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like he overshadowed the event. He overshadowed what happened by doing that. Males shouldn't be jealous. That's a female trait. Like that's gossiping. Like it was some gossipy shit that he put out there. And I just felt like that wasn't masculine at all. If that's how you feel, that's fine. But that wasn't the time for you to do it. It's a time and a place for everything. And I feel like that took off. It just kind of drained the energy of that situation.
Wow. Yeah. I actually love when people let their flags fly. When you show exactly who you are, I love it. It makes me feel good about myself. When you say racist things or when you say inappropriate things, I want to know exactly how you feel. I'm a very real person. I'm a very honest and direct person. And I don't want to be around people who are phony, who give off phony energy. So if you're around me thinking that you have to say what's politically correct, you're already going to lose me because I'm going to see through that. I want to know what's in your heart. What do you really feel? And if this is what he really felt, it's unfortunate. But this is what he took the opportunity to say. Yeah. Now, I also want to talk about how we are all a bunch of cupcakes now. Back in the day, we used to say the most wildest shit ever, and nobody would even bat an eye. I mean, all you need to do is just go back to the 80s, the early 90s, the early 2000s even, and just look at TV, look at the news, look at how people talk, look at the music, and look at how we were. We wasn't a bunch of cupcakes and butterflies. So what they made a joke about Michelle Obama, she's the first lady, and that's not the first nor the last time will that joke ever be made about her. But I feel like we're making it a big deal because it's tearing down a black woman, and it's like, come on with this bullshit, bro. That really it grinds my fucking gears so much. Because people just want to worship their skin color. It doesn't matter that they were black. It doesn't matter that she was the first lady. The bottom line is it was a joke, and people is just taking it and blowing it up. Now you wonder why we don't have any comedy specials. Now you see why there's no comedy movies coming out anymore, because no one has a sense of humor. Everyone is upset and butthurt over everything.
But it wasn't funny. It wasn't a joke. It was a shot.
Some people found it funny though.
But it wasn't a joke. It was a shot. That's like me. That's like somebody saying, perfect example. That's like me saying, your hair, like somebody saying, look at his hairline, or so and so ain't got no hairline. That's not funny. A joke. That's a shot. It was a shot. And But
we
no,
were
they
looking at
view
it
it as a joke because it's something that's been ongoing in the conversation. Like it's not anything that's new. I just feel like it was. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I get what you're saying as far as people being a little bit too soft when it comes to certain things that's being said, but it's no different than when. Perfect example, when Kanye West said George Bush doesn't care about black people.
He was right.
He was right, but it wasn't a joke, but it just kind of seems like it was just like it took everybody by shock, like, oh shit, like why would he say that at that time? I kind of feel like he just shouldn't have said it around that time. But I don't know the guy. I don't really care too much. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I
never heard of Josh Hockett until that fight.
I didn't know who he was. I wish we could lock all the liberals up that are so sensitive and make them watch the Jeffersons and All in the Family.
But it ain't even just liberals that's sensitive.
No,
let's be honest.
Anybody who's that sensitive in 2026, watch the Jeffersons and All in the Family so they can pull their hair out. Because with all the shit they said in them shows, it would drive them crazy, and I would love every second of it because that shit was real.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And Sanford and Son, all three of them.
If you really want to get roused, pull up some Lenny Bruce. That'll really.
Lenny Bruce would have been canceled for the very same thing Josh Hockett said. Period. Point blank. And when Lenny Bruce did it, he would have been called everything but a child of God. The problem is, as a comedian, I don't think that Josh Hockett was funny. I don't think that what he said was appropriate. But if you had that, it's a double-edged sword. Because half of y'all niggas ain't have an issue when people was calling Melania Trump a mail order bride.
That's true.
Half of y'all wasn't having them issues when y'all said Donald Trump was an old, fat, orange, white man with a comb over who couldn't get it up. See, that's funny because it doesn't hit your demographic. Everybody's okay with humor until somebody attacks somebody that looks like, thinks like, or moves like you. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about all of it.
Yeah.
And my whole thing, other than digging up the Rose Garden, having a dance party with Beyonce, and showing up on the Ellen DeGeneres show, talking about she wanted to revamp school lunches. Oh, Michelle Obama ain't do nothing for us, respectfully.
Yeah.
And I met the First Lady twice. I don't have nothing against the First Lady personally.
Was the hands big? Was the hands big?
Dave,
no.
Dave,
yes, sir.
What was?
No.
Okay, just checking.
No, I didn't see that.
Okay.
But we live in a world now where the weigh-ins are getting heat after having a property that was worth billions of dollars stolen from them from Harvey Weinstein. You want to talk about a Harvey Weinstein victim? Let's talk about the Wayans family.
Come on, man.
They go and do what the Wayans family have done for the better part of 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 decades now. And everybody's offended. Oh, well, they made gay jokes and they made these jokes and they made that joke and they made this joke and I didn't find it funny and I was offensive. That's what's happened. The jokes haven't changed. Society got bitch made.
Yeah. You're right.
And because society got bitch made, y'all take masculinity and make it toxic. You got people in New York right now telling women that you're birthing people, that you're chest feeders, because y'all decided y'all wanted to have a little, how you doing, best friend? Everything that you're offended by has an equal and opposite reaction, so you can't get mad when that reaction comes and slaps you in the face. That event, whether you choose to agree with it or not, was beautiful. And what Hockett did was make the focus about Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right? Because he was trying to cut a WWE promo and it fell flat in our living rooms. But he got a huge pop, you know, on the White House lawn. So if we're going to act like this is somehow offensive, it's offensive because y'all have gotten soft and y'all are so afraid to offend anybody that you won't offend anybody, and everybody's offended. That's why we got a bunch of Fruit Loop cupcakes, and that's why nobody's scared of black people. That's why nobody's scared of Americans, because who are you going to send? Listen, they are so dialed in that they have the majority of folks convinced that they're going to put us in slave ships and ship us back to Africa when most of us didn't even come there from the first place. Then they got us convinced that Donald Trump is a mittler and he's going to give us some ovens and some chambers that have some petrol in them. And people are running around here on that. You got cockeyed people with stiff wigs doing Kendrick Lamar skits and wondering why they got redistricted. But we're worried about somebody calling somebody a man when they've been calling her a man since she first got on the national stage. Now you offended? Now you upset? But you're not offended and upset for the fact that for 8 whole years, they did nothing for black people other than said, that's a shame. He could have been my son, and hope and change, and nothing changed. And all we got left was hope and a sore ass. So y'all can miss me with this Michelle Obama as a man. Oh, that's where y'all draw the line? That's what you offended by? Nigga, please.
The nigga cooking. He cooking.
Oh, shut up. This is why I be needing more female, because I'm like Angela Yee in this situation. I agree with you, but I'm just trying to be the soft. Miss Melody, what you think about this situation?
She's so low. I was about to ask you where she was at because she kind of low. And
Miss Melody,
you guys hear me?
No, you really low.
Can you hear me?
You kind of low.
We can hear you, but barely.
I thought you could hear me.
No.
What about now?
Yes, we hear you now.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
What about now?
No, you was fine then.
Yeah, he was cooking there. Well, I remember Jones Rivers first. She was the first one that said it.
Magically died a minute soon after that too.
Yep.
This is so true. Shit.
Hey, something is wrong.
Oh damn.
Cook's drowning in an inch of water, but okay.
I stand corrected.
Do we have any pregnancy photos?
God dang it.
You know we don't. Because the same person who stiffed them tethers on that contracting bid, because 4 of them came together like Constructicons, and they ain't got paid yet. There you go. And who was in charge of that? The head of the Obama Foundation, the one that looks like Malia. Oh, sorry, never mind. Go ahead.
Hold on, Auntie, go out again and come back.
Bro.
Sorry.
Oh, you fine. I'm gonna have to tell her to come back in. Ooh, that was heavy. All right. Well, Auntie, can you hear us now?
We can't hear her.
Say something.
Yeah, it looked like it sounded like she had some feedback going on.
Yeah. They always be messing with her. They must know that she about to go on here and go off. That sucks. Well, that was heavy.
I go out and come back, I can't hear you guys neither.
Can you hear us now?
I'll be back. I'm gonna try it again.
Okay. All right. Well, all right, family, it's that time. It's Shannon's Vintage Tea. Now, y'all know I love digging through some old newspapers, forgotten stories, and those pieces of history that somehow never make it to the mainstream conversation. And because one thing I've learned about history is it has a funny way of repeating itself. So tonight's Vintage Tea takes us back to a time when people believed music was destroying society. Sounds familiar, don't it? Well, long before people blamed hip hop, guess what they was blaming?
R&B, the blues, jazz, gospel,
rock and roll.
Long before the conversation about industry influence and messaging, there were fears about hidden agendas, moral corruption, and the power of music to shape behavior. So let's pour up some of this vintage tea and let's see what lessons the past might have for us today. Now, I found this article. It's from The State, Friday, March 18, 1983. So I was 1 year old when this came out. Now, I think you all probably know where hip hop was around that time, what they were talking about, what the conversation was around hip hop. Hell, if I'm not mistaken, I don't even think hip hop had a place on MTV. I don't think they were getting any music awards.
They were still in basement parties.
Am I correct?
They were still in basement parties at the time.
It was still basement parties at the time.
Yeah.
In fact, they probably thought around this time that hip hop was just not going to be where it is today. Am I correct?
Nobody even knew about it.
All right. So with that being said, you all could definitely check out this article on your own. I found it on a website I use frequently called newspaper.com.
Mm-hmm.
This is called Satanic Rock Music Habit Among Youth.
Oh, you know somebody black wrote that because it got an S on youth.
Now it reads
like money.
Now it says this is about a teacher. It says, as a concerned teacher of junior and senior high school students and the Columbia community, I feel compelled after much deliberation to comment publicly on the current trend observed among young teenagers, i.e. the listening to music by rock groups which are blatantly satanic. Heard on albums and tapes and seen enacted on the music TV channels of the cable system, Channel 16. This music may render no ill effects upon many listeners, but this is where it gets crazy. Now, notice it says it may not have any effect among listeners, but prolonged exposure, however, could contribute to a dangerous transition from curiosity and or fascination with Satanism to seduction. Now, this is what they said about rock and roll in 1983. Names to be aware of are Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, and Ozzy Osbourne.
Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness. Before the neon signs flashing, speak of the devil. This is what they were having at concerts around this time.
100%.
The latter desecrates a cross, bites the head off of a live bat, and coaxes the audience to kill a dog. Members of the audience flash the sign of Lucifer with their hands in rhythm to the music. In lieu of satanic mental stimuli, we are commanded, fix your thoughts on what is true and good and right. Think about things that are pure and lovely, and dwell on the fine good things in others. Think about all you can praise God for and be glad about. Philippians 4:8. So as you can see, everybody, this was definitely something that was going on in a different genre of music that no longer is being talked about. I think we could say Destiny Swap.
It's our turn.
It's our turn.
They made money then, they're making money now. It's our
100%.
turn.
And what struck me, what was so funny is reading this, is because I was looking at a video of a concert. I believe it was Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg. And on this concert, there was a video playing in the back. And I was taken aback by the amount of artists who have died within a 10-year time span. All rappers. But that ain't even the crazy part. What was even crazy is that the last person that they showed was Ozzy Osbourne.
Prince of Darkness. Yeah.
He outlived everybody on that board.
Can you imagine the insurance policy money that the music industry has gotten over the years? Can you honestly and truly imagine
trillions
that alone?
Trillions.
Why do you all think that every generation believes that the next generation's music is dangerous?
Because that's how it is.
Because of progressiveness.
Wow.
The more that we progress, this is what progression is. This is how things are naturally supposed to be. I mean, as you're progressing, think about what the definition of progress is. We started off in one area. Remember, if you've seen the movie Elvis, he was about to be arrested. Actually, I think he was arrested for just doing a hip gyration on stage. This back in the 60s. He was arrested. They told him if he performed again, he would be arrested by doing this move. Now, all I'm saying is all he did was a hip thrust. Think about what you see now at concerts. They damn near be having seances on there. You having sacrifices on there. Every single one of these people is demonic. All of the imagery that you see is demonic. None of it is of God. None of it is of positivity. None of it represents love. And before, like we were talking about earlier, at least there was some sort of balance. At least you had another direction to turn. But now all of those things have slowly fizzled away, and now they're just pushing you towards one direction. And before, at least they used to try to hide it or disguise it. Now it's blatant Satanism or nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even with that, let's keep it a buck. What I want you to do when you ain't got nothing better to do, go look up some Luke videos. Go look up some 2 Live Crew videos and see how tame they are in comparison to City Girls, in comparison to what's Dr. Umar's Thought Pocket's name? Sukiana. In comparison to Cardi B.
Red.
In comparison to Sexy Red. Luke looks like he's hosting Video Soul in comparison to the stuff that's out here. But in our day, when we were kids, Luke was like, oh, can't do that. But what nobody ever talks about is Luke was the last one who had a fully functioning, fully independent record company. Luke was so smart, he took his money and had a pirate radio station off the coast of the port of Miami. So they couldn't touch it. They also didn't like the fact that when Leor and them allegedly, supposedly on Earth 2 for entertainment purposes only, dropped Professor Grip from Public Enemy, not once but twice, Luke signed into Luke Records. Then all of a sudden, Al Gore's wife, Tipper Gore, came up with that parental advisory sticker. All of a sudden, C. Dolores Tucker was out here talking about how bad rap was and how horrible rap was, this, that, and the third. So y'all forget, it wasn't the Republicans getting in the way of rappers expressing themselves and exercising the same First Amendment rights. It was all the Democrats.
Yeah.
Maxine Waters out there burning CDs, everything. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they was on one back in the day. They was on when it came to music, they was definitely on one. Yep. It like I remember watching videos of them running over albums with those machines. Like there was just certain shit that they like America was not tolerating around that time compared to now.
Some of the stuff I think is all performance. I really do believe, because I don't think these people are this phony. I don't think these people are this stupid.
Yeah.
I honestly think that they're all together just playing fucking games with us. You know what I mean? I've always felt that way. I remember being in the booth at work, and they could probably, he could probably back me on this. When you're on radio, every DJ has their own signature style, and you know, you can turn on the radio, you knew that it was a such and such DJ, you know, it could be your favorite DJ.
Yeah.
Suddenly, all of a sudden, CBS came in and made all of these purchases of all of the stations. Yeah. And then the PDs changed.
Of course.
And then when the PD comes to all of the DJs and say, hey, you can't play any of that anymore. You have to play from this list
from
right
a approved
here.
List. Yeah. 100%.
Now you have all the money coming in from all of these labels. Now I can't even play Poor Righteous Teachers, Cool G Rap. I can't play Heavy D no more. I can't play none of the shit that really helped us get through our day. Now I got to play the stuff that make you want to go do something real bad.
Yeah.
The one thing you just missed, Knock, and it's very important to talk about, is before CBS and what eventually became iHeart / Clear Channel started buying up all the stations, the Clintons deregulated monopolies in the 90s when I was coming into adulthood. So there was a point where you could only own a certain amount of stations in a particular mile radius.
Right.
The Clintons was like, no. You let people buy whatever they want to buy. So that's why you started getting these mega corporations, and you start getting regional. And when he says PDs, he means program directors. You start getting these regional program directors, and then you got the local program directors who are just basic button pushers. You used to have people who would go to mom and pop businesses and create a plan so that their commercials wouldn't be just wasting money. Now all they do is push packages. So when you hear people say stuff like, oh, I called and requested my favorite song, you might have requested your favorite song, but the reason it's your favorite song is because it was on a playlist that I uploaded 3 weeks ago and then went on vacation to Vegas. Because all of that stuff is bought and paid for. And by the way, you can name an artist in your lifetime, in your mother's lifetime, and I can show you who got paid to play that artist. There is no such thing as somebody just amazingly talented just got on the radio and started singing and the world just opened up and they just took the world by storm. Everything is paid for. The Grammys are paid for. The American Music Awards are paid for. Every single spin, every single album, every single time you see a video placed on a certain platform, somebody wrote a check. Until you recognize that everybody you love, even the greatest of all time, had somebody writing a check in order to get them to where they needed to be. And if you noticed that around 2001, when the greatest of all time started going in that blue sweatsuit and started saying, yo, these cats are screwing me. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. They're not promoting me because they cut the budget. So the person who is the greatest selling artist in the history of recorded sound, who had an album that was arguably his best R&B album since Off the Wall, was considered a flop when he sold 10 million records. The reason that it quote unquote flopped is because the same person that was married to Mariah Carey and the same person that was, or the other same person who was responsible for Jennifer Lopez, all of a sudden said, you know what? We're not going to push the greatest. We're just going to let it be what it is. Where Umar when you need him? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious. All of it is bought and paid for. But y'all don't want to listen to me. I've only been in this industry since the Reagan administration.
Right. Yep.
Sorry.
But when that happened, that was my last time working on radio, because you cannot water me down as a DJ. And you're not going to get me to piss on my own people. I'm not going to do it.
Listen.
Even right now today, I'm a father, and I know as a DJ, people just think that we play records. I look a little deeper, and I say that we are the pipeline to the people. So someone provides us with the music. Me as a father and a husband and a man in my community, is my responsibility to make sure that these kids are not accessing this bullshit. So that's right. I don't do kids parties. I don't want to DJ at no clubs that's 35 and under, period. And when people, and I just had to stop. And it took one party. I did one sweet 16 party. And that was I had a young girl. I asked a young girl, a little girl came up to me and asked me to play this song, Clap That Ass. It's a go-go song out of DC. And she actually said she said the title to me. Do you have Clap That Ass? And this was a baby. She was all of 13 years old, and asked me to play it. I said, young lady, I have it, but I don't have a clean version. She said, you can still play it. I said, what you need to do is you need to go and ask your mama. Tell your mother to come see me. So the lady came to me and told me to go ahead and play it. Since that day, I have not done any youth parties because I'm a DJ. I don't even let my kids listen to it. And like my brother said earlier, he don't even listen to this crap. I'm listening to people overseas. See, while people look up to America for all the music and think they all big, this and the other, that's garbage. Because I can go and listen to people in Australia that got that whole neo soul situation on lock. I'm talking about, I got Aboriginal girls that I listen to. A girl named Kait, dope. I can go over to the UK, dope. Ireland, black artists, dope. And I'm talking about giving that real good, pure vocals, no studio crapola, none of that. A lot of stuff that I play, believe it or not, and you might not like this, Shane, but I got a guy that I've connected with, and he's got the AI thing on pop. Wow.
Yeah, I made a video about AI a couple of days ago.
That's why I said,
because they're definitely, that's the thing that I don't think that a lot of artists understand, that they don't really need you anymore.
Nope.
No,
But
for what?
They don't need you anymore.
The industry
They
knew this was
formularized the
coming.
music.
This
It's
is
a
why-
formula
this is
now.
why-
If I can
this is-
cut, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
if I can cut out all of the nonsense, I don't have to risk taking 92% of the advancements I'm going to pay signing these folks and hoping that 2 or 3 of them hit. If I can go in, sit down with a Teddy Riley, sit down with an Esther Dean, sit down with a Ryan Tedder, and say, I need you to take this type of melody, this type of vocal, this, that, and the third. Hell, go watch R&B Money podcast, and this has nothing to do with what Tank said. I'm just calling balls and strikes. But what did he say? If you could build the perfect artist, look, dance, vocals, writing, production, what would that look like? That's why Timberland sucks now. Timberland and Chloe Bailey should have been the collaboration of the decade, and it fell flat.
Did.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, pound for pound, and this is going to shock a lot of people. A lot of people will be pissed off when I say this. I don't care. I'm an artist. Chloe Bailey is 10 times the producer that Timberland is. Respectfully.
She's dope. She's dope.
I've heard her take a paperclip, drop it on the floor, and make a beat. I was like, I need that. Tim ain't got that no more. But we ain't gonna talk about all the things, Tim. Never mind. But we have gotten ourselves to a point where we don't, and this is my problem with black people. White folks have been following the Rolling Stones for 6.5 decades. White folks have been following the Grateful Dead for 5.5 decades. The Beatles broke up when I was 6 years old, and they still following the Beatles. The Beatles don't even exist no more.
Bruce Springsteen.
The boss can't even sing no more, and they still following him. Hell, Keith Richards them took so many drugs, they don't know which one of them is keeping them alive, so they keep pumping them for him, respectfully for entertainment purposes only. How y'all let Frankie Beverly go out like that? Everybody and a mama who's not black is supporting and going out for their artists and droves. And I know somebody's going to pull, well, Dave, there's residencies in the so a few months makes up for decades of support, because the second somebody doesn't have a hit anymore, you could say they fell off. They never say that about Elvis. Elvis has been dead since my mom was pregnant with me. What is we talking about? You're the reason that they can go ahead and replace AI. And I'm not saying AI don't have its place, especially if you're somebody like Beanie Siegel, whose voice is gone. Him using AI because his pen is still dope, I'm okay with that. I think everything has its time, but the record companies have found a way yet again to get over on you Negroes, because you Negroes do not have any gatekeeping skills whatsoever. And when I say that, you don't know what I live with Teddy Pendergrass. There's nothing you can tell me about this music industry. I sing backgrounds for Gerald Levert. There's nothing you can tell me about this music industry. I saw Nelly put up a very early version of Country Grammar, and people was like, nah, that's not going to hit.
Hold up, Dave. Wait a minute. Hold that thought. Shannon, do I see a super chat?
Yes, you do.
Wait a minute. That's why I just need clarity. Is that a super chat for you?
Or no, that's for Dave.
That's
okay. I'm about to say, because I'm like, damn, we
can't get him yet.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going, Dave. My bad. I was just
no. It's all good because
I want to hear from Melody though, because
I'm about to go. So real quick, I just want to say thank you, DB Smooth, for that. Tell Andre 3000 put words on his next album. The reason he don't is the reason he won't. And I'll leave that there.
People would sleep on Andre 3000's album because he was playing the flute. Let me tell you something. I listened to that whole damn album. I used to go to sleep to that album.
That frequency is amazing.
That album, the way that first of all, like, he didn't owe us shit.
Period, point blank.
Andre didn't owe us a damn thing. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He got the hell away from hip hop and he went to another genre where he was respected, and he was able to take that shit and make something that this had never been done before.
Y'all don't want 3000 to be a superstar. No. He did cartoons, y'all laughed in his face. He did a movie with Mark Wahlberg, acted his ass off, y'all laughed in his face. He did Jimi Hendrix, y'all laughed in his face. He sat up there and gave y'all Speaker Box and Love Below, and you laughed in his face. Y'all keep playing with this man because y'all can't stand a polymathematical musical genius.
Yeah.
That's why I won't let none of you Negroes put me in that Kanye Andre 3000 box. And that's why if you listen to my album, nothing on my album has the frequencies that y'all used to on the radio. Everything, even the jokey shit, has a certain frequency for a certain reason, because I just want people to elevate their brains. I gotta run. I love y'all so much.
Thank you so much, Dave. Love you, honey.
Appreciate you, bro.
Have a good one.
Sure.
And we're definitely going to tap into the frequency of music as well. But Melody, I definitely want to hear from you, because I don't know if you missed it, because I know you had went out. We were talking about how at one point rock and roll, people like Ozzy Osbourne, Judas Priest, that in the newspapers they were talking about how they were doing satanic shit on stage, the biting the head off the bat, and the same energy that we get towards hip hop now, it was actually being directed towards rock and roll at one point in our country. Can you elaborate a little bit more on like, was there like a different vibration that was going on back when you were younger compared to rock and roll? I know rap, I don't think rap was a big thing back then, but like, do you think that like it plays a part in how the destiny swap possibly happened when it comes to rock and roll and rap music?
Well, I felt like black people wanted to be white people because we never acted that way. Okay, you remember white girls going wild? Y'all remember that?
Come on. Girls
do y'all remember that?
Talk about it. Talk about it, please.
Okay, so our sisters was never carrying themselves like that at all.
Never.
But it started being like, oh, the white people look bad, but the black people look respectful. So let's get them to join in, you know? And then you couldn't even make a song unless you joined in. Because if you notice, the ones that sign these contracts, I don't really think, first of all, they get them to get you to love them. They'll come out with something nice, you know, something respectful for the kids to look up to them, you know. As soon as they look up to them, now they got them. All right, now you got all the attention. I need you to go wild now.
Nas X.
You feel what I'm saying? Because that's how that went. Now we had you know, like the Funky 4 + 1 More and the Sugar Hill Gang. Everything was talking about going to school, you know, the beats, listen to the beats, the way you dance. It just switched right off to white people music, unaliving each other. Because if you listen to some of them old rock and roll, like another one, Bite the Dust, you remember Queen? That was about killing people.
Steve walks ready down the street.
Yes, that's
my shit.
So then when they started doing the Al Capone movies and the what you call that, Tony Montana, you remember
Godfather,
the mobs and stuff. Then the black people wanted to be like them. That's how I looked at it. I said they were just following, you know, the lead. They didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
To me, it's all just forms of mind control.
Yeah.
It's actually a book that I read about it. It talks about how Target used like different forms of surveillance to spy on their customers. That's how when you get publications to your house, it's kind of specific to the type of shopper that you are, and it's based on the information that they take from you, like how close you live to the Target, if you're pregnant or not, if you are male, if you're female, if you're a child, how many children you have. You don't realize that you're giving away all of this data and all of this information freely to all of these companies. And what I'm saying is, there's the way that works for Target. It works the same way in the music industry, where they'll put out certain songs at certain frequencies and they'll put them on the radio as testers, and they'll keep playing it over and over and over and over and over again to gauge the reaction that they get from people, to see if it's something that can stick or if it's something they need to go back and tweak so that it will stick. The song, since we're talking about Andre 3000, the song Hey Ya is a perfect example of one of those songs that was used to sample the kind of like hit you with like a different sound. Because think about Hey Ya from a hip hop standpoint. That's like, there's no other hip hop song that sounds like that, right? That was something that they was experimenting with as far as the sound, seeing if it would work with the demographic that it was targeted for, young black people. And once it became a success, then they was able to take that and cross it over to white America, because we're kind of like the litmus test for what's cool in America. If it's cool in our eyes, it's going to be cool in everyone else's eyes. So once we accepted that type of music, then it was easy for them to send it out to the masses. And all I'm saying is they use this to put certain messages in the songs. That's why I said it's a form of mind control.
Yeah. Facts.
It's a reason why they'll punish you if you say Jesus Christ on your records, or if you thank Jesus, or if you talk about Jesus or anything along those lines. The record companies and the powers that be, they frown upon that greatly. Kanye West even talked about that.
Yeah, he definitely did. I'm gonna go to these chats real quick, see what our people is talking about. This is DB Smooth, who says Girls Gone Wild and BET Uncut was on at the same time. Yeah and no. Yeah and no. Because BET Uncut was on at night.
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing Girls Gone Wild being shown, promoted, the tapes during Jerry Springer, which was during the day.
Yeah.
It was very different. See, BET Uncut, that happened late at night when our asses should have been in bed.
Yep.
But we didn't see that on Video Soul. We didn't see that on Rap City. We didn't see that on a regular basis. But like Girls Gone Wild, hell, even if you look at some of the old rock and roll videos, it was half naked women in those videos. And it really wasn't until, honestly, Uncle Luke came into the game, and then you started seeing the transition of more Black women, or Latino women, and have naked clothing, which brings me on to this next topic with this next comment from Tariq, who says, what about Freaknik in Atlanta for years? Now, I don't know if y'all watched the documentary on Freaknik that was on Hulu, that a lot of y'all mamas and aunties were scared for y'all to see. But Freaknik honestly was ruined by Uncle Luke. It was. Because it was a totally different energy that was being brought to Freaknik. Freaknik was supposed to be about colleges coming together during a specific time of the year, because there was nowhere that they could go during spring break because they were not allowed to be there, or they were not wanted due to racism. That's what Freaknik was for. And it was just for Black college students to come together. They had their little parties and they sold their items and they had vendors. It wasn't until Uncle Luke brought his freaky ass down there and bought his ways, and then it became pop that coochie doodoo brown. I want to rock, I want to rock, I want to rock. And it rocked. And then all of the people, I think the mayor or somebody who was in charge around that time in Atlanta, they wanted Atlanta to be more corporate, because I think that was when they were bringing the Olympics down.
Once that happened, it was a wrap.
Once that happened, they had to lock the city down.
Yep.
It was no more of popping the coochie in the streets. Then it started inserting. Then it was a lot of these old men who wasn't college students.
Predators.
That were going to these college parties and these college situations and taking advantage of those girls. Now, granted, it was a lot of women out there that was wilding out, but that's what happens when the energy shifts, when the music shifts. Andre 3000 said the realest shit. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all just want to dance. The energy had already shifted from it being something about Black empowerment, hibbity hop, the message. And it was already going to pop that coochie doodoo brown, and I want to kill you, rob you, and take you for everything you got, which was where the 90s came into play, which is why I'm going to get ready to play the secret meeting that changed rap music and destroyed a generation.
Hold up, Shannon.
Go ahead.
Before you play that video, I want you to say exactly what you said Andre 3000 said, and play that video I sent you.
He said, y'all don't hear me, y'all just want to dance.
Play that video. When y'all see this shit, watch this.
No.
And that's a big damn deal, because I don't think people understand. Like, we already been talking a lot about frequencies, which is a part that I'm going to get into, because we don't understand how the frequency has really changed. It changed in the 50s, when they took the frequency from 432 to 440. That happened in the 50s. Now, if you understand the dynamics of how that plays a part with our bodies, considering that we spoke about this on the last show, how energy, how water is moved by sound and frequency. considering that our bodies is what 70% water.
Yep, just like the earth.
Right.
If you add words, kill, destroy, sell your ass,
Look,
pimp,
Kill
the
your
greatest way to
brother.
train the human mind.
it
greatest way to
disrupts
train
the human mind.
through the human ear.
Absolutely.
Especially when you hear it as a child.
That's it.
Melody, when you hear it as a child, because our brains work a certain way, it's naturally going to be ingrained. We're not going to forget it. That's the other thing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know for sure.
Right in front of the children. They let them watch Belly, like that movie Belly.
Yeah.
You know, I saw little kids watching Belly.
Well, I know for sure, like when I was young, it was one song that I knew my ass was not supposed to be listening to. And that was Do Me Baby by BBD. I knew my ass was not supposed to be like, every time it came on, I was like.
See, when my age, we was listening to Candy Liquor.
Candy Liquor?
Yeah, Candy Liquor, but they called your Private Jody.
Is this the video?
Yes, I want y'all listen to very closely to what Homeboy says.
Lean With It, Rock With It. Hey, that was my shit, man.
Lean With It, Rock With It is not what you think it is. Yeah. Lean With It, Rock With It.
Yeah.
Lean.
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah. You're right.
It ain't what you think it is, but he's a trappers.
Yeah.
Shout out to Later, you know, that's my big brother.
I'm gonna say that's why I want it. Look, take that off the screen. This is what I'm gonna say this again. What did you say Andre 3000 said? What'd you say?
Y'all don't hear me. Y'all just want to dance.
Lean. Rock. Thank you. Boom. That shit right there.
And the dance matches it.
They doing that. And motherfuckers getting high and fucked up. Period.
I mean, but they've been talking about getting high. You wanna ride?
No, you're right. But think about what
ride the white horse.
The fact that you said what you said, it showed like it's an extended video what I sent you. A girl was like, "You just ruined my fucking childhood because I never like." When you talk about frequency and music and just the way we naturally are, you can put any message behind a good beat.
Yeah.
It don't matter. And motherfuckers will jam that shit forever.
Yeah.
Chris Rock talked about that in one of his comedy specials all those years ago. He was like, blind the bitch. Stick it in the ear, stick it in the ear, stick it in the ear, stick it in the ear. Like we'll play anything, we'll listen to anything. As long as it got a good beat, we will go shake our ass on the dance.
Did y'all
sometimes they don't even have to have nothing good. As long as they black, people just want to support them anyway.
Did y'all see that video where that white dude came into the room and then I guess it was like I don't know if it was like a party and he came in there just like juking. He was dancing his ass off and all the black folks started dancing with him. Why somebody put that's how Christopher Columbus got our asses the first time. That one funny was. Let's see. We got one more. We may not be able to change our beginning, but we can sure change our evening. But it takes unity and love for each other. Absolutely. I was saying to myself the other day, like, man, it's so much energy to hate. Hate has you'll notice that like when you see bitterness in somebody's face, they look old in the face.
Thank you.
Like when you're standing on top of hate, when you're standing on top of just being angry, if you notice, like majority of these millionaires, billionaires, they old and ugly as hell. Like if you look at a lot of our politicians, Nancy Pelosi, old, ugly as hell, and you can see it in their face.
Yes,
because they evil. They evil. You wear evil. So I definitely agree with that. So here is the secret meeting. Now, I'm not sure if a lot of people are aware of what this secret meeting really actually is, but it definitely raises the question of when the change actually occurred in hip hop, and how it plays a big part in where we are today. Now, some people say, like I said, this is all alleged. Some people say that this actually happened. Some people say that it didn't happen. But I think that is quite interesting and I really want to share it, and then we'll dive into it. It's 12 minutes long, but I'm probably not gonna play the whole thing. So let's check it out. Now, this is Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, which honestly was quite shocking, because there was no such thing as satanic shit going on in hip hop until we heard from certain artists, and I would say that would be Brother Lynch, but definitely Bone Thugs and Harmony plays a big part in what happened when it comes to Ouija boards and the demon and all kinds of shit. Where the hell did everybody go? Is y'all still here?
Look.
Yeah. Let me see faces. Fool, where you at? Is Fool still here?
And destroyed a generation.
Damn.
So it says, hello. After more than 20 years, I finally decided to tell the world what I witnessed in 1991, which I believe was one of the biggest turning points in popular music and ultimately American society. I have struggled for a long time weighing the pros and cons of making my story public, as I was reluctant to implicate the individuals who were present that day. So I've simply decided to leave out the names and all the details that may risk my personal well-being and that of those who were, like me, dragged into something they weren't ready for.
Damn.
Hold on, let me
So we gonna tell a story.
We gonna tell the story. We ain't scared.
You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do?
They after us, not just playing.
Look, that black man.
So look, so he says between the late 80s and early 90s, I was what you may call a decision maker with one of the more established companies in the music industry. I came to Europe in the early 80s and quickly established myself in the business. The industry was different back then, since technology and media weren't accessible to people like that, like they are today. The industry had more control over the public and had the means to influence them any way it wanted.
Right.
This may explain why in early 1991, I was invited to attend a closed-door meeting with a small group of business insiders to discuss rap music's new direction. Rap music's new direction.
Yeah.
Little did I know we would be asked to participate in one of the most unethical and destructive business practices ever seen.
Crazy.
So this was the meeting. The meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I remember about 25 to 30 people were being there.
Right.
Most of them familiar faces. Speaking of those I knew, we joked about the theme of the meeting, as many of us did not care for rap and failed to see the purpose of being invited to a private meeting to discuss the future of hip hop.
Talk to him.
Among the attendees was a small group of unfamiliar faces who stayed to themselves and made no attempt to socialize beyond their circle. Based on their behavior and formal appearances, they didn't seem to be from our industry. Our casual chatter was interrupted when we were asked to sign a confidentiality agreement preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented during the meeting. Needless to say, this intrigued, in some cases, disturbed many of us. The agreement was only a page long, but very clear on matters and consequences, which stated that violating the terms would result in job termination immediately. We asked several people what this meeting was about and the reason for such secrecy, but could not find anyone who had the answers for us. A few people refused to sign and walked out. Nobody stopped them. I was tempted to follow, but curiosity got the best of me.
That's right.
A man who was part of the unfamiliar group collected all the agreements from us. So now it's going to get to the good part because the meeting about to start.
Talk to him, Jake.
It says, quickly after the meeting began, hold on one second.
Get your popcorn, y'all.
Popcorn, get your pistol. No, sweat.
Real though.
Quickly after this meeting began, one of the industry colleagues, who shall remain nameless like everybody else, thanked us for attending. He then gave the floor to a man who only introduced himself by first name and gave no other details about his personal background. I think he was the owner of the residence, but that was never confirmed. He briefly praised all of us for the success we had achieved in our industries and congratulated us for being selected as part of this small group of decision makers. At this point, I began to feel slightly uncomfortable in the strangeness of this gathering. The subject quickly changed as the speaker went on to tell us that the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry, which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement.
Damn.
He explained that the companies we worked for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. Then he says, I remember many of us in the group immediately looking at each other in awe and confusion. At the same time, I didn't know what a private prison was, but I wasn't the only one. Sure enough, someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with music. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who receive funding from the government based on the number of inmates.
Mm-hmm.
The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons.
Mm-hmm.
It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. Most of us were taken back by this. Again, a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague who had first opened the meeting took the floor again and answered our questions. He told us that since our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to play the whole video. You all can check this out on YouTube. As I said, this is all alleged. It's all alleged. But I find it quite odd, the timing.
Yep.
Now, the timing is very much so aligns up with everything. Go ahead, Fu.
And it's also, you also factor in the meeting that's pretty much been confirmed with all the cats who had record labels.
But you know where the house, you know where the meeting was at?
Whose house?
The man who just died.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about the one. You talk about the one with Sugar and all of them.
Yes.
No, not that one.
No, not that one.
No, I'm talking about that one. I'm talking about when you talk about things lining up. When Suge and Jay, what's the dude name? The dude from Houston, Jay who, whatever.
Jay Prince.
Jay Prince. It was supposed to be Jermaine Dupri, all of them, and then all of a sudden, the two motherfuckers who actually snitched, allegedly, was Jay and Puff, and look what happened.
Right.
Yeah. That like, so when you talk about lining stuff up and how things just play out, it's just amazing. It honestly and truly is amazing with how demonic that industry really is, and what you would do, and even the portrayal. Think about that. That meeting that I'm talking about, these cats supposed to be beefing with each other, but they was talking about, let's do this distribution thing so we could be good. And what happens? Yeah, that spook at the front door, straight spook, two spooks right there on the bad side. Yeah, and it's crazy because, man, money and fame, what it can do to people, and then look now, look at where they at. Look at what fame is supposed to do for you. Yeah. Now just they on TikTok. Now they on TikTok selling shit.
All of them.
Yes.
That's why I knew they wasn't making no money. I try all my nephews. I said, stop trying to be a rapper because they are not getting paid. They only here to train you.
Yeah, we don't need no more rappers, y'all.
Yeah, but I told them they broke. I told everybody. I said they do not have any money.
But but Melody, the thing about what you're saying though is that when I think about old school artists, they wanted to make the music for the music, and if the money came, they was cool with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the record labels was like, wait a minute. They made all the money. and then they giving these motherfuckers crumbs.
Yeah, crumbs.
It's crazy to think about that.
But you know why though? Because a lot of people who sign these deals, they have no idea. They have no idea about residuals. They have no idea about recoup. They have no idea about what this advance is. When you get an advance, when people say, "Oh, I just got $1 million advance," it's not for you to go buy a damn house. The $1 million advance is really for you to fund you selling this album, meaning you're supposed to fund production, making sure that you have the studio, making sure that you pay for the engineering, making sure that you pay for the mastering. All of these things play a big, the promotion, the advertisement, and all of those things. Because see, what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to selling records, you get points.
Yep.
It's a point system. It's not meaning, and really, let's say that you get an album. Back in the day, if you get an album and the album is $12.99, the artists get paid last, and they probably won't get like 5 cents, 10 cents on the shit. Yep. You got to pay the lawyer first. You pay the producer first. That's why people say songwriters make more money than the singers themselves. But like now, because of streaming, they found it a lot easier for them to attack the finances of these artists. And guess who made that out? Who put that out? Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj. No Nicki Minaj slander on my show.
No. Do y'all? Does everybody on this panel love EPMD's first album?
I didn't listen.
Well, I remember back then. Yeah.
Okay, I want you to take a guess at how much money they got from their deal from their first album.
Right.
Take a guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to split.
If you really want to know how dirty they be doing these artists, watch Cadillac Records.
Oh yeah,
Cadillac Records. Matter of fact, watch the 5 Heartbeats.
This is a perfect time for me to pull this up real quick.
They got paid $1,500 and they had to split it.
I told you,
$1,500. That album is a classic.
Black artists are the original slave. They are really on the plantation for real.
I'm gonna cover the name up. I mean, not the name, but the number. But can you see what the name says?
William Eddy. Who's that?
Do anybody know who Will Eddy is?
No.
Okay. Will Eddy is R. Kelly's best friend. Been his best friend for 30 years.
Oh, he went silent again on me.
And it's funny when I hear these conversations.
I'll see y'all next Monday. I don't know what's wrong with my phone.
All right, Melody. Well, yeah, I'll reach out to you next week and let you know what we're talking about. Go ahead.
And when I hear these conversations, I'm like, okay, see, people are very selective about who is getting tortured and who isn't, who's guilty and who's not. See, we forget about this whole propaganda thing. And seeing, like, I met Rob and Will back in 2002, and a lot of these guys in the industry I'm cool with, you know what I mean? And when you see stuff like this happen, like, I'll ask you guys, if we had a business deal, if y'all had, the three of you guys had a business deal with me, and I'm up for $1.2 billion, what would you be willing to do to make sure I don't get it?
Get you out of there.
Ooh, crickets.
Yeah.
See, and that's why I laugh at a lot of people, because when you think about it, that man gave 30 years of nothing but hits. Nothing but hits. And they did the same thing to him that they just did to Puff. They took Puff out the game. Look how much money he was worth.
And we're going to get to that, because we definitely need to discuss the death of these artists and who actually is benefiting from them, because I think people they have no idea.
Think about it. A lot of these dudes, they in jail for what swingers do every weekend.
Damn.
Think about it.
Damn.
Think about it. They in jail right now for what swingers do every single fucking weekend. And everybody will sit back and call that man all kinds of names, this, that, and the other. Everybody forgets about law. Oh, it's double jeopardy. But they forget about double jeopardy when it comes to him.
I literally just seen a video of this porn star. I don't know what her name is, but she's from the UK or something, Caucasian lady from the UK. And she's pregnant right now.
Yeah.
Now, I saw this on Twitter. I don't be on X like that. But she was talking about, I saw that she was sleeping with like 500 men.
Yeah.
Y'all.
It was 1,000 men in a day or something like that.
No, this was a different one. She did that one too, but this was a different one because it was all melanated men, y'all.
Another one of my homies.
Flesh and bone.
You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of these dudes I know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it comes to the industry and all the shit that they do behind the scenes, I watch the snake shit that these tiny hat people do.
Yeah. But
when they took easy from them, that's when they woke up.
But hear me, y'all. Listen, she had sex with all of these men, and of course they weren't using no protection. So y'all nasty asses was just going in raw, jizzing in the lady, and just that shit was nasty. But she did an interview where she was talking about her baby shower. She said that she wanted her baby shower to be an actual golden shower.
Yeah.
Meaning that they were going to do water sport at this baby shower.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nobody says anything.
No.
You should go to jail, ma'am.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
No, they're not going to do it.
They're not going to do that.
It really pisses me off too, because don't get me wrong, like, yeah, what Puffy did was crazy, but it just really sounds like he was just into some weird freaky shit.
Yeah.
Like Cassie could have left anytime. She could have left, but she didn't.
Y'all see that leaked video?
No, I'm not watching that shit.
He literally in prison because he got a little thing. I got to keep it a buck. If you saw that little leaked video of him and that model girl, 50's baby mother, you'll see right there why he lives the life that he lives.
Well, he lived the life that he lived because his ass was doing a whole lot more. But I noticed even when it came to the case with Diddy, I didn't hear nothing about trafficking. I didn't hear anything about the kids in the secret tunnels. And I found it quite odd that like nobody showed up for him. The only person that even showed up when he was in jail, when he was in court, was honestly Kanye West. He was the only one that showed up in support. But I didn't see Mary J. Blige. Nope. I ain't see French Montana. Nope. I ain't see none of those folks. What you about to say, Mark?
Because Diddy is the king of show that nigga the tape.
And Shannon,
I know you know what I'm talking about. When you be at the party, you be turned up, you getting drugged out of your mind, you having the time of your lifetime. Yeah. So the wildest shit happened. You wake up the next morning, you got aches in places that you shouldn't be having aches in. You don't know why you in this strange place, and the next thing you know, you're in this meeting, and then they present you with an offer that's completely unreasonable, and then when you refuse the offer, show this nigga the tape.
When you said something. When you mentioned trafficking, and I swear I'm just thinking about this. Let's factor in this. Let's factor in the music industry and these executives and what do they generate the most money when cats go on tour? When they going on tour, that's when the trafficking is at its fucking heaviest, and that's something else they do not talk about. There is no telling the type of shit that was going on with young, I ain't gonna say young girls, young people that shouldn't have been there, and they were involved in it. That's scary.
What? That but see, that's the thing. This is what would really be pissing me off. This is how I know, like, everyday regular people may not be on some racist shit, but like the industry is definitely racist as hell. Because what I noticed is that like nobody really wants to talk about how like people like Aerosmith and Rolling Stones had these young ass 14, 15, 16-year-old girls on tour with them when they were in their 20s. There was literally a group, if y'all could look this up yourself, look up the Plaster Casters. Yep. The Plaster Casters were two unattractive young women. I'm gonna be honest, they were not that hot, but they used to go on tour with all of these big rock artists back in the 60s, and they would plaster their penises. They literally have a plaster cast of Jimi Hendrix's dick in a museum overseas.
Yep.
It's huge, ladies. It's huge. But they have it in a museum overseas.
Yep.
And these girls was like 14, 15 years old. Like it's just kind of like now people like R. Kelly and them, they're the ones that kind of get this thing on them where they're just known as pedophiles, as if Elvis didn't marry Priscilla Presley when she was 14 years old. You know what I'm saying?
It's our turn. That's why I said it's our turn.
It's our turn, but this is what a lot of y'all wanted, I guess.
I don't think it's racism, though, Shannon, to be honest with you. I think that the music industry is just one big orgy of demonic energy. And I think it all works just sort of like a movie. And everybody has a role in the movie. There's good guys and there's bad guys in the movie, but it's all one production. And what I'm saying to you is even though it appears that the rules for thee and the no rules for me type of thing is going on, which with the examples that you just mentioned, all I'm saying is that's part of its design, because that's how society operates. Society operates off under the guise that everything is racist. So you'll be able to have the most impact if you can create the illusion that something is going on that's somehow racist. Because think about it, when black kill black people, no one says a word. But the minute a white person is involved, one way or another, now you get people talking. So if you can create some sort of inequality, if you can create some sort of perceived imbalance, that only adds to the fuel or the fire, so to speak, of what it is that you're trying to do. And that's trying to get everybody in moving towards one direction. So now it doesn't matter what genre of music you listen to today, they're all demonic. From country music to R&B to hip hop, even Christian hip hop is even starting to be demonic. If you look at the reason why they're even doing Christian hip hop in the first place.
Well, I mean, racism is demonic. It is, because you're hating on another person based upon their skin complexion. But let me tell you what I mean why I say that the industry is definitely racist. Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly is a perfect example. Buddy Holly was a notable musician from the 50s who married his 14-year-old cousin. He married her, got her pregnant, and guess what? When you think of Buddy Holly, when you ask someone who used to listen to him, they're not going to talk about that. But you know what? But guess what? He never really got the heat that you would get if he would have been, let's say, Sam Cooke, who got caught in a hotel dead because he was with a prostitute, and he was known as a rapist up until she came out and said that she lied. You understand what I'm saying? Diddy's entire career is now based upon baby oil now. Nobody even cares about what Diddy did. See, it's funny to you.
But
it's funny though.
Because he went against the grain. That's the reason why Diddy got punished, because he went against the people who feed him.
But what I'm telling you is that, bro, and I hear what you're saying, but what I'm telling you is it's a known thing that the industry has always played favorites when it comes to just different dynamics or different nationalities.
I'm saying that that's by design, though. Like they're not doing it. I mean, they're not doing it specifically because you're black. They're doing it because they know that dynamic will work. They're just using it as a formula that's effective, not because it's because they genuinely hate us. They genuinely hate everybody. We're talking about the devil and his minions. They actively want to destroy all human beings. They're not just
so if that was the case, then why would they take a demonic presence that was already in one genre of music and then move it to the genre where most black people listen to it?
Because we are guests. We are guests. At the end of the day, we are guests in this country. We're guests. We're not American, so to say. You see what I'm saying? Like if we look at history, we were just included. You remember the 3/5 clause? Like our people are just guests of America. Even though why?
So with you saying that, why do you think that is?
Because of who we are. Notice, think about it. There's a reason as to why we can't get any so-called protections or reparations. Everybody else can, but we can't. See, every other nation can come to this country and benefit and get whatever they want. This nation is the land of milk and honey. This is the land that actually feeds all nations. This is the home of slavery, not bravery. See, everybody works, pay taxes to take care of everybody else and their families in other countries. It's real simple. We need to know who we are. See, a lot of us don't know who we are. I know who my ancestors are.
Yeah.
But a lot of other people don't. There's still people that believe they're from over there in Africa. It's so crazy to me. I didn't grow up hearing all those stories. You know, when I was young, I met my great grandparents. I heard all of the stories. I didn't hear slavery stories. I didn't hear nothing about nobody getting beat. I know that I was told never to call myself black, all that other stuff. That's why I always refer to us as so-called black, even with them, so-called white. But we are guests, so they are going to take advantage of us the best way they can.
I think it's allowed, though.
It's
allowed.
Very much so, because look who runs the industry. Look who runs everything.
It's very corporate now as well. And I hear what Mark is saying. Everything ain't racist, but we got to call a spade a spade. It definitely has a lot to do with taking what is for us and watering the shit down and making it as evil and demonic and horrible as possible.
But
it's always it's been like that for a while.
But we be willing to do that. It's always work at the post office. You will, like people like Sexy Red. Nobody put a gun to her head. She willingly goes in there and chose to come up with.
I mean, it's definitely a choice. It's a choice in all in everything.
So
that you do.
that's why I can't lean on the fact that it's racist, because it's actual black people that's participating in this. It's not like when they came in there and they caught Sam Cooke, he wasn't caught doing what he was doing. It's not like Diddy didn't do what it is they said.
But Sam Cooke didn't rape that woman, though. No, that's the thing.
I completely understand that, and I'm not saying to guilt or innocence, but I'm just saying how the picture has been painted. Yeah. And from that standpoint, we all have a choice to make, and we put ourselves in certain situations and circumstances that come along with consequences. And you have to understand, it's not always racism. Sometimes it's placism. Sometimes you're in the wrong place at the right time.
The one thing that gets me, and I saw it recently on YouTube, was the story about ABC. And when I saw that story about ABC, we all are fans of certain artists. We are. But I gotta say, Michael Bivins is a piece of shit. And
are you talking about the group, Another Bad Creation?
ABC?
Yes, because the reason why I'm saying this is because it has been documented that New Edition's deal was one of the worst deals signed ever in history. Like in history. And Michael Bivins turned around and did the same exact thing, if not worse, to his artists, and ABC was one of the major culprits. And I'm like, yo, that's fucking crazy. That's why I'm saying for Shannon and for y'all to be in the industry. When I think about myself, like I did a few fashion shows when I was younger. And as I got older, I used to always say, I probably would have went to jail if I'd have really went into modeling and all that, because somebody would have came at me sideways and I would have fucked them up. The only difference I would have had is I was smart enough not to just sign anything. Yeah. That's the other thing. Like I'm far from rich, never been rich. Yeah, my grandmother was on welfare and stuff when I was younger, but I would never sell my soul for no money. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna sign this contract so I can get XYZ. And I'll be saying to myself, what was these kids and these people going through to sign that shit? Like,
man, let me tell you. Let me say this real fast as somebody who, you know, as an artist, from an artist standpoint, they get them when you're young. You're young, you're impressionable. You won't out your mama house. You know what I'm saying? You're watching TV, you're watching the videos, you're seeing the glamorous lifestyle. And you may also have a bit of insecurities within yourself and you want to be accepted. It's no different than somebody who's joining a gang. You want to be accepted into this. I know for me, rap, when I started rapping when I was young, it was my escape. You know what I mean? I was young. I was the middle child. Well, first I was the baby, then I was the middle child. So I had my own bouts with depression and just insecurities and dealing with this new life. My mom got married. It was just a lot of other shit, but like rap was my escape. And the only thing I cared about was rapping. all I cared about was getting on that mic and doing my thing. And then once I got older and I really got into it, then it became more about image. Image is a big deal in this industry at that time. Now it's not. You could be fat as fuck, excuse my language, but you can. I don't know if y'all see that one girl. She at least 500 pounds.
The one that was on the Breakfast Club.
Yes, she's huge.
Yeah,
Back in the day, no, you could not be heavy set and come out. That's why Missy had the garbage bag on, because you know it was a stigma on you to be a larger woman around that time in this industry. So I had to deal with either I'm not sexy enough, or I'm too sexy, or the men were intimidated by me because I had a very hard type of way that I would rap. I had to deal with that. I had to deal with that. I'm not putting out. I'm not sleeping with producers for beats or studio time, or DJs wanted to sleep with me in order for them to spin my music. Like, it's a lot of other shit that's going on. So you're right. You do have a choice, but I think that people at that age, they want this dream.
They don't know any better.
They don't know no better.
That's what I was about to ask Mark, if he thought that, you know, because it's been very public. For example, Rob is dyslexic, right? He can't read, he can't write. He writes the way he writes, but we know that he's brilliant when it comes down to music. But if we fast forward to today, do we know that a person like Sexy Red or Glorilla or, you know, any of them little young girls, do we think that they would actually do this if they knew any better? You see what I'm saying? If they knew any better, they wouldn't do it. You know,
I think that they still would, because they specifically go after desperate people. And so the commonality with with everybody who we've just named, at some point in time, they found themselves in desperation. That's the reason why you sign these unrealistic deals. That's the reason why you just put yourself in any kind of situation, and that's desperation. And I think in the Bible, it speaks about beware of people who are desperate or act out of desperation, because a desperate person will do anything to harm you, will do anything to harm themselves. They don't even take any of that into consideration, because all they see is the tunnel vision of what it is that they think that they want. And the whole time, what they think they want isn't even what it really is. And when they get it, they're going to feel like fools because of everything that they had to sacrifice to get to this perceived thing that they really wanted. And then it turns out to not even be that. I'm willing to bet if you go back and ask Puffy if he can go back to the beginning, before Clive Davis, before all of this shit, if he could go back and do it without all of this, without the fame, without everything he had to sacrifice, I bet you he'd do it differently.
Yeah.
Let me go to the comments real quick, and then I want to get make sure that I get in Miss Dolores C. Tucker, because she definitely played a major part in this 90s transition. Let's see what's going on, Celestine. And they trick you like they did. Let me see. They're still in the classroom teaching our children that they came from slaves, not through slavery, but from slavery. Let's go. Yeah. I actually did a video, and I got a strike on it because I was just talking about, and I said this on the last show that we did when I was talking about how Matt Walsh making a documentary about slavery when it comes to Black people really was stupid as hell. I would have wished that he would have made a documentary regarding the enslavement of Europeans. Because that's something that we don't hear about a lot. They don't never talk about that in the history books or in documentaries. I honestly, up until recently, had no idea that there was a such thing as white slaves here in America.
They talk about it in this book.
I bet they do. I bet they do. Cardi B, let me see. Cardi B said her daughter can't listen or see her work. Yeah, but your daughter can.
Yeah.
Your daughter can. It's no different than the CEO of McDonald's.
Yeah.
Not eating his own food that he serves you.
That go back to what I said earlier. As a DJ, I'm not playing that shit for your kids. I don't play it for mine, so why should I do it for yours?
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, that speaks to one total agenda. It's all evil, no matter how you slice it. All of this entertainment, all of the music, the imagery, it's all working together and it's all pushing us in one direction. I'm just mad that more people can't see it. Like, we're so busy breaking down the divisions and how we're looking at it from one small piece of the pie. But if we would step back and just look at the whole big picture and see how all of these things are being orchestrated, and these are kind of like pieces on a chessboard, so to speak, trying to put us, the human race, into checkmate. And we're not paying attention, and we're slowly allowing this to happen. We don't even realize we're giving away our freedoms every single day. Every time you do one of these 10-year challenges on Instagram, how were you this year? Now, how are you this year? You're giving the algorithm all of the information that it needs on how to figure you out. I just was talking about this with Target. You think that Target is the only company that's monitoring its customers or consumer base? They're not the only ones. They all do it because they're all trying to make money. But while they're trying to make money, the ultimate goal is to push society towards the direction of evil.
Yeah, it's happening straight up.
Some spirit see what it is.
Yeah, we gotta have you back on here, sis. You might need to come on here. We definitely we are being removed by the 13th elite families that are black, the black nobility. I'm still looking into that shit because I've been hearing a lot about it.
And I keep telling you,
I've been hearing a lot about the black nobility, that conversation. Now, we want to talk about Dolores C. Tucker. We only got a little bit of time, but I want to definitely make sure that I at least touch on this and touch on the frequency, so that way you all could better understand where we're coming from, and then we're going to close this thing out. Now, Dolores C. Tucker, she became one of hip-hop's biggest critics and fought against violent and sexual explicit content, especially when it comes to women. Nobody liked Dolores C. Tucker around that time. They made all kinds of rap songs about her and everything. But I'm wondering if this elder possibly she actually had a good point. So let's check it out.
Here, right here in America, is not from hurricanes or earthquakes, not from disease or war, but from violence one against the other. We must understand clearly that violence comes in many forms and is acted upon by many sources. Whether we are talking about physical violence, spiritual violence, economic violence, or sexual violence, the end result is the same: the destruction of human life. Enough is enough.
Now, Dolores, for those of y'all who don't know who Dolores C. Tucker is Cynthia Dolores Tucker. She was an American politician and civil rights activist. She had a long history of involvement in the American civil rights movement. She was also Secretary of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania from 1971 to 1977. And from the 1990s onward, she engaged in a campaign against gangster rap music. She was also a Democrat. Of course she was. I always find it so odd, like how Democrats always be the ones that,
Censorship. It's always.
Well, the thing about it when it comes to Democrats, and I saw this, and this is probably one of the reasons why they've been able to get black people wrapped around their fingers so easy, is that they always speak the activism that we look for when it comes to bettering the community, but it always feels as if it's just a play to get votes or a play to get more funding. Like, I heard a Democrat up there in Chicago who was speaking about the violence that you were talking about that happened out there, and he was pretty much talking about that Donald Trump needs to shut up and roll back the funding that they were getting when it comes to violent control. So my big question is why do you need money to stop to have gun control? Why do you need funds for that?
The Democrats profit off of crime. That's how they are able to continue to listen. If you think what I'm saying is cap, just look at every Democrat-led city and look at the crime in the city and how they always talk about they wanted to get better, but they never actually address the problem. If you look at what's going on in Seattle right now on Aurora Avenue, they're talking about the uptick in crime, how it's completely untenable, how it's ridiculous. The gun violence and sex trafficking that's happening on this one particular strip in Seattle is crazy. So during an interview, they had a city councilwoman talking about how she has not met with the mayor since the mayor has been in office. Now, how can you have people in the city council not even meeting with the mayor, and your city is in the middle of chaos? And not only is it in the middle of this violent and deadly streak of what's happening, all of the major corporations and businesses are also fleeing at the same time, creating a perfect storm and a doom loop for the city of Seattle. All I'm saying is Democrats profit off of this, because when they talk to another city councilwoman about the same exact situation, when they ask, wouldn't it just make more sense to try to increase the crime and try to decrease the crime and increase police patrols, she said that she didn't agree with having a curfew for the youth. She wanted people to have freedom, and somehow she roped Donald Trump into this, saying that Donald Trump was somehow at fault. Anytime that these Democrats get into any kind of hot water, any kind of trouble, they find a way to rope Donald Trump in. Yeah, but Trump. I'm like, Trump's not in Seattle though, baby. Katie Wilson is. What's going on? Right. Why are we not talking about Katie Wilson, the person that you Democrats elected to run your city? But like I said, the Democrats make money off of your crime. That's the why they never fix it.
There's a video, and when I find it, I'll send it to all three of y'all. This comedian dude was talking to Joe Rogan. And they were talking about the rank, I think, of the United States as far as other countries or something like that when it comes to gun violence. Whatever number we were, when you took out the cities, that shit plummeted.
Right.
Like it's just concentrated in certain areas. And then once you get rid of that shit, you be like, what the hell? And it's amazing that people don't pay attention to kind of what Shannon said. Like this emotional shit that they do it for a reason, and people fall for it. And instead of looking at the actual facts of things, it has to be the emotions. And honestly, I think I had somebody call me a coon today because of that post that I put up. And she immediately went to Trump. The post was about that event and media coverage. How do you take that? Yo, something is wrong with these people. Because this is scary, yo.
I'm telling you,
their leaders say the same thing. They put it in all of their ads and all of their commercials in every city across this country. You're going to see someone running for a congressional seat or for any seat, right?
Any seat. It don't matter. They can run for a state house seat. They blaming Trump, and Trump ain't got shit to do with it.
The first thing they say is such and such is standing up against Trump. You know, such and such is not going to fight Trump. As soon as I hear that, I know to take you off my list of potential people to vote for, because you're telling me you're weak, you're full of shit, and you're lying. Now, see, when we think about the Democratic Party, there's two sectors that we only think about. We forget about the other one. It's very important. And see, Dolores Tucker was one. Marion Barry was another until he decided to go progressive. But people forget about the conservative Democrat.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about them at all. See, the conservative Democrat, a lot of them have departed and went over to the Republican side.
Yeah.
Because progressives fucked that party up.
Yeah.
Progressives fucked the Democratic Party up.
They don't even like Democrats. I've seen videos where progressives have said that they really don't like Democrats. I've even seen videos where Jasmine Crockett herself said that they lie to our elders in order to vote for them.
Yes.
They lie and say that they're Democrats when they're really progressives.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned what is wrong with these people. But I'm telling you that they open some portals, guys.
Yeah.
And we have some real life demonic activity that is going on right now. And it definitely has a lot to do with not only the food that we eat, not only the things that they spray, because there are ways for you to combat that. But music plays a very big part. Vibration is everything. It's in everything. Music is life. It's alive. So when we talk about vibration, I really want to share with you all why they changed the standardization of our music. So basically in 1953, The musical tuning varied widely from region to region and orchestra to orchestra, while referencing pitches for the note A often fell in between 370 hertz to 450 hertz. So they changed it from 432 to 440. Now, how does 432 affect our brains compared to 440? And I'm going to share my screen here so you all can see. Because they say that nobody has said that it has happened or that it's no scientific evidence, but I find it quite alarming that it does seem to have some type of harmful effect. So notice it says they highlighted that shit, so you know, because it's Google. It does not have any unique or harmful effects on the brain. While alternative frequencies like 432 may sound subjectively warmer or more relaxing, 440 is simply an arbitrary acoustic convention. It was adopted internationally. Now, they made this decision not in America. They made it in London.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about damn right.
Sounds about right.
They made it in London. 440 hertz is just a reference point to ensure instruments can play in tune together. It has no biological or neurological mechanisms for harm, but check out what it says for brain and mood. The brain processes 440 exactly like any other musical pitch. The emotional impact of music comes from melody, rhythm, but then it says here that they say that 432 aligns better with natural world and promotes relaxation. 440, however, they said that it is largely driven. Now, 440 is largely driven by, I can't find it right here. See, they removed it. I swear to God, y'all, they removed exactly what I was reading like 3 days ago. They removed the shit.
I'm
pissed.
You said the keyword like portals, timelines, all this other shit. We have to accept the fact that all of this shit. Remember when John Witherspoon said that shit in Vampire in Brooklyn? This shit, the flip flop, this shit right here.
I can't believe they removed it, y'all.
That's how they do it.
Yeah.
Google removed it.
That's how they do it. Look, I'm sitting here and I'm looking just to piggyback off of where you were going. On January 10th of 1963, under congressional record, appendix 34, 834 and 35, where Representative A.S. Hurlong Jr. of Florida read the controversial current communist goals into record. Now, it's interesting that when you actually read a lot of the things that they talked about, we're covering a lot of that tonight, which is crazy because on that agenda, one of those things was to resist any attempt to outlaw the Communist Party. That was one of those things.
Damn.
And then that's how they do, honey. I'm telling you, they will wipe something clean real quick. This one was, I thought, interesting. Gain control of key positions in radio, TV, and motion pictures. And then another one was to break down cultural standards of morality by promoting pornography and obscenity in books, magazines, motion pictures, radio, and TV. And then 26 on the agenda was to present homosexuality, degeneracy, and promiscuity as normal, natural, and healthy. Also, let's see, infiltrate the churches and replace revealed religion with social religion, discredit the Bible, and emphasize the need for intellectual maturity, which does not need a religious crutch. Check that out. We're seeing all that right now today. And this is what our Congress discussed in 1963.
So basically, you just confirmed everything I've been saying on this podcast.
Everything, sir.
It's all by design.
It's all by design. That's why I'm not a Republican nor a Democrat. This is why I don't even play the back and forth with people about what's going on in the White House. It's all by design.
I don't think y'all understand how pissed I am that they did this.
I know you pissed.
I'm pissed.
I know.
Like y'all don't even understand. They removed. They scraped it. They completely scraped it. Look, I can't even find exactly what 440 does to you anymore on Google. They won't even allow. They've completely like changed it. Now they say that 440 is energetic and bright and universally unifying sound, and that is a damn lie. 440 actually does something to your mind because it's first of all it's too high. The sound of the earth is in the 300s.
Right.
The sound of the earth is in the 300s. To move it to 440, it intensifies anxiety. It intensifies anxiety. It causes depression. It regulates your mood to being angry, violent, aggressive. Now, mind you, they did this in 1959. Remember, I told you that they were talking about how rock music was, right? Yep. What do they use whenever they're torturing someone? What music do they use?
They play that shit.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
What year did you say? You said 1959?
1959.
It's not a coincidence that the Antarctic Treaty was also signed in 1959 after Admiral Robert Byrd came back from Operation High Jump because of the technology and everything that's supposed to be down in Antarctica. It's not a coincidence that none of this shit is happening. I mean, that all of this shit is happening. It's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
And Shane, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know back in like 2018, they did the same thing to me when the whole Black Lives Matter thing jumped off. And I was doing live.
It's too much. It's just too crazy.
And it was like I was getting the information from their website, you know, from their website, and was sharing my screen with everybody in the chat so that they could see it for themselves. And it was gone. They
just wiping stuff away, and like literally like we and then I'm gonna close out because it's over. I told y'all that I've been watching this little show, whatever. It is amazing what they can do to like remove certain information from the internet in a drop of a hat. Like they can shut down a whole website in the snap of a fingers.
Yep. So they changed the whole encyclopedia. They changed
the entire encyclopedia. Change words up. So it's so frustrating to me that I don't see this anymore online because like they literally reverse what 440 actually is, and they're trying to make it seem as if it's good for your mood, but then in the same time it's telling you to check your mood.
You might want to. I'll give you the piece of advice that how Jermaine moves. Anytime you find something like that, make sure you save it.
I did.
Yeah, right. Because they move.
It don't matter if you save it. All they have to do is remove the URL. They could cancel out the URL. But I'm telling you, I have documents that I saved that Stag sent me that are gone.
Yeah. That's why I normally would copy all of the text and paste it into a separate document and then save it.
Yeah, you got to save it that way. But like if you actually have that, they could give you a broken link. So yeah, y'all need to look into that. We're gonna close out with this last thing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody get up out of here. Now, this is from Pastor G. Craig Lewis. If you know, you know. G. Craig Lewis. Y'all know about the spirit of hip hop. He was one of the first people who actually talked about how there is demonic presence in hip hop. He was the first person that told us about the demonic energy that a lot of the hip hop artists like Jay-Z, who actually have used these imageries in their music as well as in the video. So we're going to close with him. This is from actually an interview that he did on a podcast called Let's Talk. I think that's what it's called. Let's check it out.
In a certain way based on what they have seen. Y'all can't read these words, but I'm gonna read them to you. He put out right before he died. He said, "I'm ready to die and nobody can save me." Biting the bats' heads off, drinking blood, urine, all that stuff in the concerts, basically just devil worshiping. He said, but it's coming for the African-American kids. Busy Bone came out talking about the Mr. Ouija. It was written backwards, and you hold it up to the mirror, and there was a confession that you speak. They opened up our community to that spirit. Wow. Now when you see young black men, they look totally different now. But God showed me that in the 80s. People thought I was crazy. Black folks ain't gonna worship the devil. No way.
Meaning, if we were to go back to where hip hop was at its inception, would it then be acceptable?
Not at all. Hip hop was corrupt in its creation. African Bambaataa went to Africa. He learned the ways of the Zulus. The Zulus are into ancestral worship. People's like, oh no, it's just beats. And if you know anything about frequency, you know that it's never just beats.
What do you think about the feminization of men in hip hop? That you got rappers wearing skirts and dresses.
These guys are taught by Aleister Crowley to channel spirits from the flood. Nephilim were used to getting praise and worship.
You see this movie Sinners just came out.
Some people can watch it and it won't do anything, but some people can watch it and have an open door. It's the difference to me between Christian hip hop and Christian rap.
There's a culture that's attached to it.
There's a spirit attached to it. I've been addressed by the spirit. This guy was shy, timid. He was like mousy. After we had dealt with the demon of his wife, he manifested. When the spirit manifested, he sat back on the chair. He had a toothpick in his mouth, and he sat back on the chair. I said, you know who I am? He said, yeah, I know who you are. You're chosen. I said, chosen for what? He said, to deal with me. I said, well, what's your name? He said, hip hop. If you take his riches, you owe him something. There has to be a right.
These are our gospel artists that are a
damn. Shit. Well, yeah, he went in on that. So we're gonna close out with this last question. I'm gonna go around the room. If you could change one thing about hip hop today, what would it be? I'm gonna start with you, not. You want me to come back?
Look, oh shit. I almost spit my drink out. If I could do that, I would probably soften it by removing profanity and obscenities. Just to soften it up. Because I wouldn't want to remove but so much from hip hop, only because hip hop was something that came from the heart. You know what I mean? It came from your life experiences and things of that nature. But I know profanity sometimes can, it'll take you somewhere. You know what I mean? Profanity will take you somewhere. Obscenity, you know, the degeneracy, the sex talk, the violence, those things. If I could remove that from hip hop, I think we'll be all right. Go back to making beautiful music again.
So you mean like the backpack era?
Yeah, conscious rap.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely go back there.
Okay, Mark.
If I could change one thing, I think that I would want it to be more of a gatekeeping process. I would like to see more standards in artistry. Nowadays, everything is just formularized. I would like to see more of a standard. Like you have to meet this criteria in order for you to be able to release music to the public.
I like.
All right. So like artist development.
Yeah, we used to do that back in the day. The artists were different. They had training. They came out. They were polished. They knew how to speak to the public. They could use correct English. They could string together, complete sentences. Like they understood the moment. They understood about their image and not doing things that would destroy their image. Now you can't keep these artists off the internet. You can't keep them off Twitter. They don't know how to speak properly. When you put them in certain environments, they wet the bed. Like, I would love to see back when artists were actual artists.
Yeah, I agree.
Facts.
Go ahead, fool.
Greed.
Ooh.
Explain.
Ooh.
If you take greed out of hip hop, now you go back to you doing it because you love it. It's a difference. It's a difference when you're doing something and if money comes, that's cool. But it's a whole nother animal when you're doing it just for the money. There's a meme, I wish I could find it, when it said back in the day, I didn't rhyme because of Rakim because I knew I couldn't do that. And they named the artist now. It's like, well, I guess I could rhyme now because anybody can do that. That's what hip hop has shifted to, and that to me is honestly and truly sad, because I'm of the era where you had 10 different artists, they all sounded different, and they all was fire.
Facts.
Now it's just this. That video that Snoop did when he did like the cadence, that's all it is. It's the same. It's that's just doing this right here. This ain't a beat. This is some, when you talk about depression and this right here, it's like beating you in the head with, nah, yo, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
And Shane, if I may do the honest, because you are one dope ass MC. I loved your work. And I was shocked to hear and see you in action. Dope. But you have to answer that question. If you had a choice to take one thing away from hip hop, what would it be?
Jeez. I would say suits. The suits killed hip hop. The suits, corporations, corporate greed killed hip hop, because it became more about the dollar as opposed to the message, as opposed to how it made people feel. That's why they got rid of things like artist development, publicists. The mystique of hip hop, it's not there anymore. That's what concerns me with not even hip hop, with R&B. I don't care about who you're sleeping with. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care about any of that. I want to know what you got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Can I relate to it? Can I move to it? And last but not least, the balance. The balance is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could listen to some gangster shit, but at the same time, I still want to listen to something that's gonna make me feel something, that's gonna give me air. Like, hip hop told stories. You know what I mean? Shout out to Slick Rick, one of the greatest storytellers to ever bless the mic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then you got people like Pimp C and Devin the Dude. Like, I just feel like nowadays it's become microwavable music. It's become microwavable music, and they're just getting artists, they're packaging together, they're creating characters.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to artists who genuinely want to be around for 10 to 15 to 20 years later. Nobody's making classics no more. Nobody's making classic albums anymore that you could play. People could say whatever they want about Jay-Z. I'm not today not the biggest Jay-Z fan, but I guarantee you I could play Blueprint and I will play that shit from the beginning to the end. We don't have that anymore. There's not an album that's out right now that I could say I could listen to from the beginning to the end. So I think that the corporations have gotten so greedy, as they have with anything else, and everything's just fast food. No color, no excitement, bland. They look just like Obama's museum.
Oh shit.
Hip hop is Obama's museum right now. It really is. It looks just like it. It's the same structure. It's as big as it want to be. It's just an ostentatious form of music. So
And
I
empty
think
on
that,
the inside.
huh?
And
empty on the inside. Yep. That's it.
Wow.
That's just kind of how I feel.
Wow.
I think that's when you drop the mic right there.
Yeah.
Drop the mic. I'm about to leave. Hey, thank you everybody for joining us. Thanks, Dave, for popping in. DJ Knock, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come on and talk about this amazing topic to us, because this is our life, right?
This is good.
You know, hip hop was the heartbeat of has been the heartbeat for all of us for a long time. So this was an amazing conversation, and I really hope that everybody enjoyed it. If you have not, make sure you all like, share, comment, subscribe, share this with your peoples, and join us next week, Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Realist Lounge. Mark, appreciate you always for shopping through. Fool, you already know the family is here. Thanks everybody in the chat, and we'll see you all next time, and we out. Peace.
All right, family. Peace.
Ain't no outro. We just about to leave, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Bye, everybody.